This is a warm-up exercise that I do most days to help warm up the tone and to create resonance within all registers of the instrument. First, we're going to start with a low C natural, and we're going to overblow to the octave. You notice that I kept the same C fingering. I didn't go to this fingering, even though I'm playing that note. These are called harmonics. You can probably hear that that has a different tone quality than. They sound a little bit different. Now, the goal of this exercise is to create this resonance, this deep tone in the low register, and bring it up through the flute as you go higher and higher with your harmonics. So now that I've got that middle C, I'm going to bump up to the next harmonic, which is a G. You notice there that when I switched my fingering, I was still playing the same note. So I use that low C fingering, go up an octave to the C, then go up again, and I get a G out here for that second harmonic up there. Then I'm going to stop the sound and try to use that same target to blow through and get a G with the regular fingering. It's important that you keep the resonance the exact same when you're going through these different harmonics. If you hear this, that's not the tone that we're going for. That open, round sound is what you want to hear. And then when we switch fingerings to the regular fingering to the G, it should be the same round sound. Not this, where we start pinching the sound and any other thing that could possibly happen, more air in the tone. Everything should be the same round sound that you have with the harmonic. And then when you switch over, it should be the same. Okay, we're going to go up now a half step to our C sharp, low C sharp, and this is going to overblow to an A flat or G sharp. You should be using the lips, not extra air, to get these harmonics to come out. If you look, I'm trying to move the lips forward in E, oo, oo, just slightly forward to get these higher notes to come out. Once I find that target, I keep blowing through that same target so that my air stays in the same place. These harmonics tell us where the flute wants us to put the air. Okay, so instead of this sort of random choosing of where we're going to aim our airstream up or down, the flute tells us where we're going to put it. If you need to breathe halfway through, that's fine. Don't be in a rush to get through the harmonics. Just try and keep them just nice, gently going upwards. None of this. You don't want those gushes of air. Just keep working at it to get the lips to slightly adjust. Okay, then we go up to D natural, and that's going to overblow to an A. If you're unsure if you're playing the correct pitch, then you can just check it with the regular fingering. So if I started playing, and I got that tone, I could say play the A, and I would hear that and aren't the same pitch, right? So you have to sort of give your ear something to listen for and aim for. So here's the A, and now I start with the low D. Again, everything should be an open, round sound. As you get higher on the instrument, this becomes more and more difficult. Let's take flute player's least favorite note. How about the high E? We're going to go all the way up to this high E, but we're going to use an A fingering for it. So I'm going to play this low A. I go up the octave. And then I'm going to push forward one more time. That leads us to a flatter version of E natural. So we're going to try and aim our air in that place. So here's the low A. You noticed I switched the fingerings, but I didn't change anything with my lips. Just because you're changing the fingering doesn't mean that you need to change anything in your embouchure. The flute is telling you where it wants you to put that E. Now, I'm using this fingering for the E just to bring the pitch down a little bit when you're doing that, but you can also leave the pinky down when you get up to that high E. And then you just have to work to keep the pitch down and fight it downwards. Another difficult note that's hard to get out is F sharp, high F sharp, either this fingering or this fingering. I'm going to use this one on my flute. We start with a B, just this regular B fingering, B natural. Again, once we get up to that high harmonic, we're going to blow through that, figure out where your lips are aiming, and blow through that same target. When you put that break in between the real fingering, you went harmonic fingering, then you went real fingering, and then we finally went through and played it again with that real fingering. You're testing whether your lips can remember the placement of the airstream. So as we get higher, our air needs to aim higher. And you can work on this slowly by doing these harmonics. You're helping yourself find where this air placement needs to be. So if you have a note that you always crack in a certain piece that you're working on, you want to use this harmonic exercise to find where that pitch is. So let's say that you can never play that E flat on the top of the staff. Every time you get to it, you crack that note. We'll practice it going with this A flat fingering, and then you'll know where your lips need to place that air. Let's try that one. Here's a low A flat. You notice there I took an extra breath, and that's fine. You want to come back to that same spot that you left off in, and then we continue going on. When you work through this in a piece, it can really be beneficial for your embouchure placement and just getting a generally better tone, a more open, resonant sound. I do this exercise most mornings, and it's a really good long tone exercise. You should mix up the long tone exercises that you do. You don't need to do the same long tone exercise every day. That makes your mind go and wander off. So you want to try and keep your routine a little bit mixed up so that you are always thinking and always working towards building a better tone.